Hi there, this is Tana Schaller, and in today's video I would like to cover the topic of psychological development, stages of development. So, this is a contribution of Western psychology, and it's the result of research. Now, you know that you have different strengths. So people have different strengths, referred also as multiple intelligences. You can be very good at math, but not so good at expressing yourself verbally, or you can be very good with people, have high social intelligence, high emotional intelligence, but you're really not good at solving puzzles, or the other way around. You have high IQ and you're good with exact sciences, but klutzy around people, and so forth. So what I'd like to invite you to look at with me today is moral development. So moral development is a function of emancipation, of psychological development. You are kind to everyone in your circle of care, and not even one other being besides that. Now, how big is the circle of care? That depends on how many perspectives are you able to take. And so things are not black or white, and I'm giving you a very simplified version to give you a taste of what's it like to look at the psychological development, and also to give you an idea of uh, practical applications in your relationships, in knowing yourself, and also in knowing where the people in your life are coming from. So you can slice the pie in many ways. So I'm going to take the developmental pie and slice it in three today. And each stage is depending on how many perspectives a person can hold. So if I can only hold one perspective, mine, that means that my circle of care contain only one person, moi. So I can be very kind to myself. I can be very nice to myself, and I take good care of my body and my mind and my emotions. And if others suffer, well, that's too bad, so sad, because all the others are not me. So developmentally, this is the self-absorbed, pre-conventional, if we look at moral development, this is a pre-conventional stage of development in which a person hasn't yet been introduced to societal rules. And just to clarify, children develop through these stages, but also adults develop through these stages. So it's spiraling. It's not um, it's not only one journey of development, but layers. And each person gravitates at a certain developmental stage. So from the moral point of view, think of Frank Sinatra's song, I did it my way. I do what is good for me. If it causes suffering to others, oops. So this is self-absorbed. This is the narcissistic me stage of development, in which a person does whatever is good for them and doesn't care about societal rules. Now, societal rules are uh, existing and put in place exactly so people can actually live with each other and cooperate, and hopefully not be at each other's throat. And so it's exactly the same purpose of having traffic lights, so that people don't kill each other when they all cross the same intersection in the same time. So all the rules are allowing for a flow that keeps everybody moving and safe. So it's the same with societal rules. So societal rules are conventions that are designed to allow us to live as well as possible together. And the conventional stage of development is where a person lives in order to obey the rules without questioning. This is it. And in Latin, the way I grew up in Romania was dura lex sed lex. This is the Latin for the law is hard or difficult, but it's the law. So this is the stage of development, moral development of the police, of the army, of the sports teams who share very, very clear rules and who enforce the rules and who live in order to fulfill the rules. This is also the stage of fundamental or dogmatic religions. This is how we do things, and this is an ethnocentric, conventional stage of development. Ethnocentric is because our people have these rules and we're not crossing them. And this is our code of behavior and not others. And then the post-conventional stage of development is when the human being starts questioning, well, wait a minute, is there maybe more to rules? So rules are important. I've been introduced to rules. I've been following the rules, but sometimes I have to make decisions. And is following the rule the best decision, or are there times in which there's something else, a deeper value that should prevail? And a classical exercise or research that has been done with students who have been presented with a moral dilemma, a question. Let's say your spouse is sick and is about to die unless they have access to a very expensive medication that you can't afford. But you could steal. Are you going to steal or not? And of course, half or part of the students said yes, and part of the students said no. But when asked why yes and why not, then the students were divided in three, not two categories. So not according to the yes or no, but according to the why yes and why no. And so one category was, yes, of course I'm stealing it. If my spouse needs the medication and if I need it, I'm gonna do it. I want it, I get it. And so this is the person who hasn't been introduced yet to rules. I do what I need, what I have, what I want. Another group were the students who said, no, I wouldn't steal it because stealing is against the law and it's not right. And then the third group of people, there were those who said, yes, I would steal it. And the reasoning was because saving somebody's life is worth much more than the $200 or whatever the medicine costed. And so the developmental scale or movement is unilateral. It goes unidirectional. It goes in one direction. And how this applies, and of course, I presented you with three stages, but you can slice the pie and actually there are out there more well-defined or detailed mappings of the developmental stages. So you have 12 stages of development or more. And so you can refine your understanding of where people are at in terms of their moral development, their sense of self, and a whole bunch of other, the spiritual intelligence and so forth. How does this apply to you in your life? Well, let's say you are dating, or let's say you have a daughter or a son who's dating, and you listen to, you have a conversation with the other partner, or your daughter or son has a conversation with the potential partner, and they only speak about themselves the whole time. everything that comes out of their lips is in first person perspective, I. Because they know what they think, they know what they feel, but they don't know what another person thinks or feels. And they talk about what they want and what they get. So this is the stage of development where it's not possible to connect with another human being. In order to connect with another human being, you need to be able to put yourself in their shoes. To love someone is to know someone. It's as simple as that. The connection is through knowing each other, to being present with each other, to putting each other's in each other's shoes, and self revealing, to revealing yourself to the other, and to listening to the other, and being able to feel with them and understand where they're coming from. So now you have a conversation with people who say, hey, do this. You know, I go with my dog, and sometimes my dog is off the leash because she's very slow and obedient. And somebody comes and says, put your dog on the leash. It's the law. So you know exactly what stage of development. This is the conventional stage of development. And then when you hear people asking why this rule? So here's a question. Let's say you drive your car in the middle of the night and there's absolutely no traffic. Anywhere you look, and you're at an intersection at a stop sign. Do you stop? Because that's the law and that's the rule. Or do you go because there's absolutely no traffic, zero risk, and you can see kilometers away in all the directions? What do you do? And so you do whatever you want, but the question is why? So you stop, but why are you stopping? For example, I stop, but I stop because I want to reinforce my reflex of stopping at the stop sign. So if I stop every time, I know that when I need to stop, I do, because it's already in my unconscious habits. But is it morally wrong, or is it morally right to not stop at the stop sign at 2 a.m. with no traffic? When you start questioning the rules, you don't have to break them, but the mere fact that somebody questions the rules indicates that they have developed at a post-conventional stage of development. Now, pay attention, there's a fallacy between the pre and post. So when you hear people say, oh, this person is so non-conventional, non-conventional says nothing. Non-conventional means that somebody doesn't follow conventions, but why? Is it because they haven't been yet introduced to them? So they're self-absorbed, pre-conventional narcissist, me, I do what I want, I don't care about rules? Or have they gone through the conventional stage and now they're questioning the conventions and doing what is right, whether it's covered by the law or not, according to their moral development? Capiche? I hope this is useful to you, and I hope I made you curious enough to want to learn more about stages of development and understand yourself and others better. So if you like my videos, you know what to do. Click the like button, subscribe, click on the little bell so that you get notified with the new videos, and go to Facebook page, Tana Schaller Coach, and like the page and connect with me and share your love with me. All the best to you. Mwah. Have a wonderful, wonderful day or night.